Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards.
Frank, what do we have with the approach shot here at number 1?
Well, the green, it slopes away from the players with the exception of the front of this green, which is like almost just a little bit of a ski slope and an upslope before it goes down. That's what makes judging that second shot so difficult. You've got to land that ball on the first 5 to 10 yards. No further, otherwise it skips through.
Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Certainly had enough power, just didn't have any touch. Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. And he's made the green. Clean this up with a tap. That is a solid par putt right there. On the tee, ready to go. Beautiful looking shot right here. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. This is a good-looking shot. Beautiful approach shot there and a good chance to take advantage. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. That's a nice roll, and with that birdie, now 2 under par for the tournament.
So here we are at the third hole, par 4, again 428 yards. Frank, have you ever seen anything quite like the bunkering that we have here on the left side of this hole?
No, the church pews, they're famous obviously for Oakmont, and they have that tendency to drag your eye to that left side. Really, you hit anything that you can get off on the fairway off this tee, whether it's a long iron, I don't care what it is. If you want to try and hit driver down there, well, good luck, because this really is about the second shot. Somehow avoid that trouble there so you've got a second shot.
Excellent drive right there, Frank.
Circa 310.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Didn't fare too well on this hole yesterday. Made a bogey. Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now. Try to walk away with the par. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round.
Well, really, Rich, right now it's just a case of running out of holes. Pars are fine.
And now let's go down to the action at the 4th. Frank, this would be a good time to get it going. Made some pars to this point, but if you want to win, you have to make birdies.
Rich, I think the thought of winning has to be removed from one's psyche right now. You've just got to worry about what's in front of you. It just looks confused, forgetting about playing the actual game itself. Winning happens by a series of good shots. It's get back to the basics of playing golf. Second shot.
Frank, still a good chance for birdie. Getting set for this third shot, pitch shot on the par 5.
Yeah, just have another look at that green, though, because you can use the slope on the green to allow that ball to run towards the flag. Remember, that green can work in your favor. Should be safely on deck.
Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. Birdie here yesterday. This putt again for birdie. That finds the bottom of the cup. We'll call that a birdie. Take you up now to the 5th hole, 382-yard par 4. Frank, what do you think of the 5th?
An excellent tee shot is required here with just a long iron. Even something as short as a 4-iron is fine because the hole's not overly long. If you can bisect the bunkers on both sides, that's the key there. The second shot's going to be a little downhill.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Sit down. Get down.
Oh, this is going.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Good putt. Frank, what's the pros' take on the first par 3 here at Oakmont, the 6th, at just under 200 yards?
Oh, it's a real beauty. Very narrow in the front. You can see how it pinches in so close.
What?
It starts to widen up. But even to try and carry that bunker on the right side, There's very few players in the world that could hit it that high and manage to stop the ball in that corner. Once again, you're trying to thread it through that avenue at the front of this green. It's a tough par 3.
Don't want to miss it right here.
No.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like.
Well, too bad. He'll have to play from the bunker. And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. Now from the bunker.
Yeah, just a little splash out on this par 3.
So a tester from 4 feet. That is a solid par putt.
The par 4 7th, 434 yards. Well, this one has a chance to be really good.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards.
Frank, what does this second shot look like at the par 4 7th?
Well, normally on any other golf course, you'd say you've got enough green there to work with. But remember, in a US Open, with the firmness and the speed of these greens, if this ball is slightly offline, it's just going to funnel into one of those 2 bunkers on the right or that one in the back right. This is why you have to respect the middle of this green.
Those greens about as fast as that Pennsylvania Turnpike to the right of the 7th here. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round.
Continues to putt beautifully. Frank, the par 3 8th, it will take a player's very best strike.
Yeah, it's not often you see the odd driver come out of the bag, but when a hole can be stretched out to close to 300 yards, then everybody in the field needs some heavy artillery. It's a big, long par 3. Green does feed a little bit to the left, but at that distance, no hole is easy.
He pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. You need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
And setting up here in the rough. Wow, Frank, he did well just to get it on the green from that lie.
I didn't think that was doable.
Getting set now over the putt. Come on, you have to make that, don't you? Drop shot here at the 8th. Bad news is, Frank, that's a bogey, but the good news, It still has the lead.
Can't afford another, though.
Here we are at the 9th, par 4, 477 yards. Frank, this is a rugged hole.
It is. It used to be a par 5. Some say it should still be a par 5. Long, straight hole, runs alongside the first hole there. Bunkers left and right. And, of course, if you find the rough, the remnants of what it used to be a par 5 is that nice little cross bunker in the middle of the fairway, which forces you to lay up.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
So after all that, it's a bogey.
Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good.
Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
He just blasted that one down the fairway. Out there about 325 yards.
Got to be careful here. Downhill, he's got to time it good because your weight's a little bit more on your front foot.
Good-looking shot right here.
On the green and looking at a birdie opportunity. Little redemption chance here. Had bogey yesterday. Wow, I thought he made that. Well, that's all you want right there. Just lag it down. Don't get too crazy. And now just to tap in left. And getting ready for the putt. Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Moving on to the 11th hole here at Oakmont. Par 4, 379 yards. Pretty short hole here at the 11th. It's only 379 yards, par 4.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Wow, what a birdie.
Now at the par 5 12, 667 yards. Frank, you played golf around the world at the very highest level. I've heard you say you think this is one of the hardest par 5s on the planet. Why?
The slope of the fairway, you don't get a flat lie anywhere along that, and the green slopes away from you. So really there's no easy out. This is the only par 5 I've ever seen where the best players in the world would take a 5.
That's an absolute tracer right there. In the fairway and well over 320 yards. And from the fairway for his second shot here.
Gonna keep going, huh? Fuck, man.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up.
What, I go 300 yards?
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
And it makes the green in regulation. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. You'll love them, the birdies, and that's another one.
Well, Frank, what about this par 3 13th? Measures 183 yards.
It has a little bit of a crescent-shaped green, but it looks like the green should shape that way, but the actual contours of the green go in the opposite direction. The only good thing about that is chances are you've got an uphill putt. This is definitely not going down the fairway.
It doesn't look good. I think it's going to be in the deep rough.
Oh, and it gets a good kick. It's only in the first cut.
Not too
That's
bad.
not too bad.
Frank, I like the way he sort of starts his swing a little bit on the outside and then drops it right on plane. Second shot coming out of the rough here.
Rich, that just adds insult to injury to the rest of the field. Another birdie, and the gap even wider.
A sensational performance.
14, pretty short par 4 at 358 yards. Frank?
Get the ball in play here, and certainly your best opportunity for birdie on the second 9 so far.
Now the approach shot coming up to the 14th.
This is a good-looking shot. So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Just a couple of feet. He's made it. All teed up at the 15th. It's a par 4 of 499 yards. What a test here, Frank.
It certainly is. The tee shot here is a little bit like the par 5 12th, where the fairway slopes quite severely from left to right. It means the pews there on the left side are actually not a bad place to aim at. You just have to allow for that kick and roll towards the right.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin.
Well, the drama's starting to build here. 15th hole, the approach shot, Frank. This is a time to be buttoned up and dialed in.
That's for sure. And this second shot would be so much easier if they had just removed one little bunker. And that's that one short left, because that's where you would like to land that second shot. Because that bunker's there, you've just got to somehow avoid it by a yard or two, whether it's over it or to the right of it.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
This for par. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
So they'll tap in. Drops not one but two shots with that double bogey.
Yet another demanding hole here at Oakmont. The par 3 16th, 231-yard par 3. Frank calls for a well-struck long iron.
It certainly does. It's going to favor something that's hit a little higher and a little softer. If you could just mentally cut this green in half and just sort of look at the left half of this green, it's really the best way to play this hole. And the reason why is the general contours all move to the right. That ball can still funnel down to the right side of the green.
See if you can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Locked in on the read and the speed. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Now on to the 17th hole, and Frank, in so many ways, this determined the outcome of the 2007 U.S. Open. Jim Furyk had his issues here. It's just 313 yards, but it can really play with a player's mind.
It's such an unusual par 4 for a U.S. Open, plus also where it comes in the round, because the options, and there's only really two, is like a 4 or 5 iron, sneak it up the right side, or you take a driver directly at the green. You would think there's something in between, but really there isn't. And that's why, to your point, it stopped Jim Furyk, it stopped Tiger Woods, it allowed Cabrera to win. It also helped Ernie Els, who went with the driver option there back in 1994. So 17, it's short, it's tempting, it is at a U.S. Open, but it is still demanding.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Birdie putt coming up. Had a bogey on this hole yesterday. good roll.
Great finishing hole here at Oakmont, Frank, the 18th.
I remember back in 1994, this was the last hole in a US Open ever played by Arnold Palmer. Couldn't pick a better finishing hole to win a championship or say farewell.
They'll be pretty happy with that 290-yard poke off the tee. Well, the U.S. Open could well be decided right here with this approach shot to the 18th hole, Frank.
Another one that's going to have to be launched right up in the air. Carry that false front and then hopefully land softly and not get too much ground movement from the general terrain of this 18th green.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Long putt here. This will require a good touch. Looks like he just misread that.
Really? This is an awkward length.
Frank, we see it every single round. These kind of putts determine whether it's a good score or an average score.
Yeah, and just like that, a bogey. He does not feel like he deserves it.
That's a bogey, but still in the lead.
Yes. We start to see shots in hand really valuable.
Frank, that front page of the leaderboard has been looking good all week.
You're exactly right, Rich. I think our winner is certainly going to come from that list right now. I'm excited for tomorrow's final round.